Welcome to Salcedo Paranormal. It is Wednesday, July 20th, 2022, and tonight we will be doing a very special call-in episode of the podcast. Let me see, I think I turned the volume way too far down, so hopefully that will work better. But so thank you all for being here. This is going to be the uh, okay, be the 200th episode of the podcast. And so I thought, what better way to do this than the way we did the 100th episode? And that is to include listeners of the show to talk about anything paranormal and or a question that I will uh, put out there after, and we'll go from there. Um, as always, you can find the podcast, uh, all episodes of the podcast, along with links to social media, ways to donate, and ways to contact me at the podcast page, which is salcidoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. And always happy to hear from you all, uh, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or you have stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others. Happy to either read them or have you join me on the show to talk about them. And we can arrange whatever time and day we need for that as well. If it doesn't work out to be on one of the usual days or times, I'm happy to work with that and just go with whatever works best for everyone. So, and I believe that covers all of that. So tonight we're doing this call-in episode. Friday will be paranormal news, and Sunday will be true paranormal stories from the web. And that takes care of that. Next Wednesday, I'll be covering the second half of the haunted transportation hubs with train stations, whether it's above or below ground. Seems like it's a lot of the below ground variety that seem to be haunted, based on what I'm remembering. So that's for next Wednesday. So that should be fun, and I think that covers everything. So the question for tonight, like I said, anyone is welcome uh, to join in here. Just let me know when you want to join. Uh, put it in the chat here for the stream, in the stream chat channel, and then I will let you know, and then you can join me. So that's how that's going to work. But the question for tonight, and this is just a general question. We can go wherever we want to with it, but the question I had in mind was putting aside logical explanations for strange sightings of things in the sky, whether it's human made objects or uh, other objects out in space that are known. So basically, misidentification, anything like that. What do you all think about uh, UFOs and other things seen out in the sky and in space? What could they be if not the if they're not the logical explanations for these things? And so that's the question. And happy to hear everyone's response to that. Or if you have anything else paranormal that you want to talk about, happy to talk with you about that. And we're, like I said, open. I try to keep this a fairly uh, family friendly show as much as possible, but other than that, uh, it's open. So thank you all for being here, and thank you all for the congratulations and everything for getting to this episode. Um, it really is amazing to me that we're here. So, but but yeah, it's been an amazing journey. Getting here, that's for sure. And from going from never expecting to be a podcaster to do a talk show basically, to doing one now for 199 episodes, going on 200. Um, so it's really amazing how things can change over time, I guess. And so just until we get, oh, okay, there we go. Um, well, I guess I could start with the experience I had a little bit over a week ago now, about a week ago now, I think it was about a week ago. Uh, that kind of got me thinking about this question, and yeah, the question is, hello, Derek, and everyone in the chat. The question is, if it's not uh, human-made objects or just natural items, natural objects out in space or near Earth, if it's not the logical explanations for what UFOs are, what else could they be? Because everyone pretty much has heard about these uh, these satellites and secret military craft that are have been seen out there and everything. And definitely, it's I think it's important to figure things out as much as possible. But since I want this to be a fun episode, I figured why not go with the uh, the weirder side of everything. So, but yeah, so I believe it was last Thursday morning, and I went out to get the mail. I've been waiting for a couple important things to come in the mail, and it was around 3 in the morning. Actually, I think it was around 3:15, maybe a little before 3:15. Um, and I I walked outside to get the mail, and okay, good. Um, but I was outside getting the mail, and I live in it's what they call a court. It's basically like it's not a street in a way. There's one entrance in and out of this area. It's like a square rectangle with buildings on each side, and so there are some streetlights. But I happened to be I looked up when I walked outside because I always do. I'm legally blind, so I never really expect to see a ton in the sky. I can easily see the moon, and I did see the moon that night, and it looked like it was mostly full. But and so I saw that, and then I saw I figured it must have been a star off way to the left of it. Um, and I was looking at it as I was walking around one side of uh the court, and it was just the regular star color, just the usual star color, and uh, so I was looking at it, and usually when I see those things, I'm always amazed at it, but I don't think much about much else when I see them. But for some reason that morning, uh, I was thinking, wouldn't that be amazing if that was something other than just a star? And I kept on walking around the court, and I was thinking about how I've heard of people trying to communicate telepathically with things that they've seen in the sky, and I was thinking, uh, wonder if I could do that. That'd be pretty amazing. And at around that same time, I happened to walk behind this tree, and it took about second, uh, a second or so to pass this tree. And when I came out again, when I could see it again, it was it was blue. It had changed colors from like a white or yellow or orange to like a blue. So that was really amazing to me because of the timing of that. Um, so I was looking at it as I got the mail, and I got everything, and I kept on looking at it over my shoulder, and it just was blue the whole time. And so I walked back inside. I didn't have a phone at the time to try to take a picture of it. I also didn't know if I could get a good picture of it anyway. I'm not the best at taking pictures, but it stayed blue the entire time I was walking back to my apartment, and never flashed, never moved as far as I could tell. It never did anything. It was just looked like a star until I started thinking about it being something else, and then after I walked past this one tree, um, I I saw the light had turned blue, and I couldn't figure it out. Uh, I'm I don't know what it was. I think the timing is odd, if nothing else. But um, yeah, I don't know what it was. So that's my sighting that I had about a week ago now, a little less than a week ago now. And that's kind of what got me to think about this question for today, which is just if these things that people see that maybe I saw, putting aside logical explanations, what would they be or what could they be? And of course, I'm always happy to listen to anyone's experiences with anything paranormal and all those things. So, um, yeah, so that's the experience that got me thinking about that. So, okay, well, looks like we have our first volunteer. Derek, if you're ready, you can unmute.
Hey James,
Hello.
can you hear me all set? I'm having some headphone difficulties the past couple of days, so
You
am I coming
sound
in
good
clear?
so far. Yeah, you
All right,
sound
beautiful,
good so far.
beautiful. First, big congrats on 200, 200, the big 200. Can't believe it.
Yeah, it is wild to think about that. I um I don't know. I don't think about these things when I'm doing the episodes really, but it's funny the podcast Podbean website,
Yeah,
they have a count of the downloads and the episode total, like the total episodes, and that's the only reason I really notice,
yeah.
because otherwise I wouldn't even probably think about it much.
It goes quick. Time flies. I think I said it on the 100 episode, but it feels like just yesterday you announced in the Discord that you were going to start your podcast like on Halloween, which is like at that point probably like 4 to 6 months away. Now here we are. Fast forward 2 years or however long that's been, and well, like probably less than that, right? And 200 episodes. But boom, and you're a pro now. We say it all the time, but you really are very good at it now. And I can't wait to see where it goes, where the next 100 will bring.
Yeah, it's I think I've finally found a good schedule overall, and I loved doing the 5 nights a week, but it was just too much.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, for sure, for sure. Good
but
to have you.
yeah, thank you.
I won't take too long because there's other people who want to call in. But as far as like the UFO stuff, I do have like one kind of tiny experience that I just kind of remember that I don't really talk about that often. It's not like a crazy one. So when people ask if I've ever seen a UFO, I usually say no. But um, there was one time, like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like obsessed with trying to see a UFO. It's like I hadn't seen one, and I just like really really wanted to see them, and I was like frustrated. I was like constantly. I'm working overnight. I'm like spending all my lunches outside. I'm like looking up constantly. I'm like driving with my moonroof open all the time, and I would always compare it to like the scene in Goodfellas where he's like towards the end of the movie where he's like frantically driving around and he's like looking for helicopters flying above him. Like I was constantly driving, like looking up, trying to see UFO and just getting nothing, nothing. So um, every once in a while, like practically every night, like maybe multiple times a night, I would open the big like bay doors at the supermarket, like where the truck backs in, because there's like a big skyline. And I was like get like a urge, I would get like a feeling to open it up, like, all right, I'm gonna see something here. And I never would. you know. Um, but then one time I got the urge and I looked up, or I opened the door and I looked out, and there was this one like really bright star, or looked just like a bright star, um, very bright though. And all of a sudden, it kind of just like dims and goes down like very quickly, like it like just kind of goes away, but like um, almost like smothered out, like as if you would kind of like put a drop of water on like a candle, how it kind of like smother the flame almost.
Yeah.
So it kind of like goes away in the sky, and then maybe like 3 to 5 seconds later, this like big streak, or relatively big like orange streak, kind of like a almost like a comet, but going in an upward direction. Just all of a sudden appears in the sky, going upwards, and I'm like, what was that? So I don't know what it was. It looked like a star, like it just kind of disappeared, and then all of a sudden this weird streak appeared in the sky. But it was like I got the urge to open the door and look out, and I was like, oh, this is weird, but it wasn't compelling enough for me to talk about it ever. But it just kind of reminded me of it. Um, and then I have some thoughts on what UFOs could be first, but you think about the experience first.
Yeah, that is amazing. And anytime you see something like that going up, like
Yeah, same.
that's a good sign that it must be something. It's not going to be. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Weird.
And I know that feeling. I always felt like that too. Like I've had everyone knows I've had so many different whatever they are ghost experiences and dream
Yeah,
experiences. Never had a UFO experience.
yeah, it's crazy.
And then I had that one, and that was it was amazing because I can't figure out. I even popped into the Troubled Minds Discord right after it happened. I was like, okay, here's what happened. Can anyone think of a natural explanation for this?
Yeah.
And
No,
no one
no,
really
yeah.
could at the time, and so yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of any natural explanation really. Um, as far as like supernatural or paranormal, there's seemingly countless explanations. There are seemingly countless possible weird possibilities for it. I mean, obviously, the extraterrestrial aliens from space hypothesis, which is probably the most common, but that's the leading hypothesis for what these crazy things are in the craft. I mean, in this crazy craft are in the sky. But also, like I'm into the idea that of like the ultra terrestrials or something weird, something that kind of like um, blurs the line between physical and non-physical, or physical and ethereal, something that kind of can like um, whose goal is more to like interact with humanity than anything else. So that kind of might explain these urges people get to look up, or to like these like synchronicities that seem to be associated with having these experiences and stuff. But like as far as like just what the craft are, I mean, yeah, like aliens from space. It could be craft from inside the Earth. It could be time travelers. It could be things opening portals from like other parallel physical dimensions. It could be things that are like on other frequencies, or like wavelengths, or other like that are kind of um, phasing in and out of our reality. So they're kind of like popping in and out that way without using portals per se. It could be like humans. Like it doesn't need to be. It could be like UFOs and like spaceships and stuff, but it could be humans. Like the breakaway civilization idea, where um, people with a lot of money and resources, like 100 years ago or 200 years ago or even longer, got hold of some technology and like are very far advanced now, and they, from our perspective, they look like they're or they the technology looks like it's a advanced civilization. But my personal favorite, the one like the last year, 2 years that I've been like most interested in, it's kind of the Jacques Vallée, John Keel idea of like kind of like the big P phenomena, like capital P phenomena, like some trickster type thing, something on the outside of our reality. Like it's on in the Passport to Magonia book by Jacques Vallée. Like the cover is of this like alien that's like puppeting this like demon and uh like cryptid and this like other thing. But then on the inside cover, it's the whole thing is being like puppeted by this one mysterious arm from like out of nowhere. And whatever that arm is, just something, some consciousness, some presence that's reaching in from outside of our reality, interacting with us and taking different forms, whether it be ships or cryptids or just strange phenomena in general, um, with the goal basically or seemingly just being the interaction with. And that's kind of what was most interesting, or what like um, I find most interesting about mine was that like uh, affected like it made me open the door, or like gave me the urge to open the door, and kind of like when I saw it, then it kind of went away. Like, and that's a small, like really not very cool experience at all, but it seems to happen in a lot of people's experience. The idea that there's some type of connection, conscious link between you, like the observer, and the person having the experience. So that's my
Yeah.
long ramble. Yeah,
No, that's good. Excuse me. And I know I felt like that because remember I don't think those things that I did that night,
yeah,
and that's what really gets me is I wonder how much of that was I already being contacted and I just didn't realize it
yeah, yeah.
at yet at that point until the light turned blue. I
Yeah,
mean that
yeah. That's.
yeah
I mean, that's definitely like it seems like I don't know, like these things. If it is just aliens, like there's regular aliens, um, it seems like they're like messing up a lot to be seen like this. Like they should either be seen all the time or really not seen at all. It seems like they want to be seen in a lot of cases. Like they like part of the process is to be seen by people. I don't know if they're like studying us, if it's like just another physical species from another planet who's like very scientific and is just kind of interacting with us as scientists, and just, oh, what is it, what will they do if we show them this advanced technology? What will that do to their culture? That type of study. Or just something more like unrecognizable to us, something, just the phenomena itself, just something that we can't really wrap our heads around, that's I don't know, interacting with us somehow. I'll post a picture of the cover of like the hand reaching into to our reality to puppet these different phenomena. But I think it's very cool. I mean, um, the whole ancient aliens idea with their angels or their demons or the fairy lore, their these different cryptids are really talking about aliens, or aliens are really talking about this different phenomena, like this different types of phenomena. I don't like to exclude anything, so I like to have it. It all could be in the mix. There could be aliens from space. There could be angels and demons. There could be ghosts. There could be ultra terrestrials, and then there also could be something else, some hand that reaches in and can take the form of any and all of those things that we could be interacting with. Like, do we really don't know and can't put any limits on it? And that's why I like listening to your show and Mike's show and everyone's show. Like, to stretch my mind and give me outlets to thinking with this cool stuff. So I'll let you go, let other calls come on. But again, James, huge congratulations. Awesome, awesome show. Very proud of you. You're one of my good friends, and great to see you succeed like this. And sky's the limit, brother.
Thank you so much, and same goes for you. I always enjoy talking with you, whether it's on a show or just off of a show after.
Definitely.
And thank you for being here.
Later, later.
Yeah, and to those points, definitely, I feel like it's all possible. I always say that too, as well. Anything's possible, and I think it all could be possible. Um, and getting back to that one force or that one being that is creating things here, that makes me think of I think I mentioned this in a text chat before somewhere else. But this idea that I've heard before, I believe it was on Where Did the Road Go? Uh, with the host Soraya. I think it's Azkath. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name right, but he had this idea that when people have experiences and then they smell they have this they get this smell of something breaking down, like sulfur or whatever. A lot of people often think it's that indicates it's evil or demonic, but Soraya put out this idea that maybe it's more of the material that was being used or generated or used to make that manifestation only can last so long, or when this whatever this is here, it inhabits that, and then once it leaves, that material, whatever that is made of, starts to break down, and that can be what causes that smell in some cases. Um, so that just made me think of that. And but yeah, um, no, these all these ideas I think are on the table out there, and always happy to talk with everyone about them. So um, let's see here. Let me ask everyone. I know Mike mentioned that he could be on. If you want to, Mike, you're welcome to join me. If you have a second, if you're ready. If not, we can go to APOC. But yeah, so but yeah, thank you all for being here, and happy to be doing this with you all. So, let's see here. I think looks like Mike might be busy, which I don't blame him. He has his own show to get ready for. Oh, there we go.
Sorry, James. What's up? What's up?
No problem. Just happy to be here with everyone, and including you. To thank you for being here while you're still preparing for your own show.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's my pleasure entirely. You like I always say, you're the glue helping me out all the time. It's the least I can do. 100%, man. Congratulations on 200 shows. It is, like Derek was saying, time flies, man. Time flies when you're having fun, right? And 200, man. It seems forever away, but man, blew through that, and you're just like chomping at the bit to get to 500 now. 500's next, James. You'll see.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this before too. Whenever I've seen a couple of shows they're on like episode 1000 something, it's like, oh my gosh, just how? But it makes sense. It takes what's that phrase? Well, we're all familiar with that. Time and pressure.
Time and pressure. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, and very nice work. Like I always say, in regard to like paranormal stuff, there's so much to talk about, and you do a great job of encapsulating each thing and making it tight regarding exactly what we're talking about. Sometimes there's orbs, there's shadow people, this, that, the other thing. That's what it's all about, man. Because regarding that big P phenomenon that Derek was talking about in terms of UFOs, right? It could be this stuff could be anything, or it could be all related or not at all. So it is nice that you spent so much time kind of breaking down so much of that. And what's happening now, which is the crazy part, which doesn't seem like much while you're doing it, right? It is a lot of work, but you're becoming this huge sort of online presence and resource for people that are into this stuff. So, man, fantastic work, and congratulations again.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was part of the purpose for doing this, was just to let everyone know, hey, there's weird stuff out there, there's paranormal stuff out there, but it's not all bad, and that's the main thing. So yeah, but thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, no problem. Let me give you my hot take UFO take real quick before I take off here. So I'm going to be the curmudgeon in the joint, because why not? And I'm going to say that for the most part, I think UFOs are propaganda. I think there's a whole lot of stuff that's happened from way back that just kind of points to a ton of shenanigans going on with like the government story. And so most of doesn't mean all, of course. So everybody relax, take a deep breath. But I think the hot take, I think, especially now, I'm doing a UFO show tonight as well, because this is there's new news. There's new UFO news. Let's drop it on the show right now, James. Did you hear this today? That they announced a new UFO office from the Pentagon.
I thought I saw that, but I wasn't sure if it was a government thing or not. Like, I saw the tweet about it, but I didn't really get to read it and to find out if that was like a real thing, or some fan making up a page or whatever to talk about it. But so no, I didn't know about that.
No, I just hit immediate release. I'll just read the headline. DOD announces the establishment of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. And that's what we're talking about tonight on Troubled Minds also. Because, like I said, the thing that really gets my goat about a lot of the UFO stuff is, it's fascinating. It's a fun conversation. But all this government meddling forever is, let's say, irritating. It just, it's like, come on now. Like, you're not letting us know what you got. And you're like, kind of laying out like one office of red tape after the other. For what? I mean, you've got like dozens of years of data, actual data, that they're not even talking about. So I'm going to go off on that tonight, because I think that it's probably as relevant as any part of the UFO conversation. But holy smokes, man. This was just announced today, and that's like what makes 3 new UFO offices in the last 2 years. Come on now.
Yeah, I was thinking. It's like, wait, they already have at least one I know of. I thought 2. So yeah, and I do agree with you on that. I think that a lot of it is, and you're aware of that because we've talked about it before. I do think that's why I kind of put out there in the beginning of the episode. I'm not even talking about all the craft and this and that, because that's like we can eat up so much time. And I'm not that I'm saying that I mind you bringing that up, because I think it's a great point. But that's why I kind of wanted to make sure I put that out there today in the beginning of the episode, because it's like, yeah, we know there's all kinds of stuff out there that is probably from some human somewhere, and then there's so many, like you said, propaganda machines going all the time. So, but yeah, no problem. I'm looking forward to being there, listening to your show tonight, and maybe I'll call in.
Amen. Appreciate it as always. You are the best, James. Don't give up. Keep trucking, man. You got, like I said, you got this huge resource happening. You got lots of people involved, and rooting for you every single day. Keep kicking ass, my friend.
Well, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later.
All righty. Have a great one, guys. We'll catch you a little bit later.
And that, in case anyone here is listening that doesn't know, and that's, I always like to say this, but that is Michael Strange from Trouble Minds Radio, and that starts in, let's see here, about an hour and a half. So that's why this show can't be super long tonight, but I really enjoy that show, and if you listen, you may even hear me on there here and there sometimes. So, but yeah, and I do agree. All the and I've said this before too, that all these, I'm a lot less interested in all the government aspects of all this than I am in the individual accounts from people of experiences, because there you don't have to deal with as much manipulation, hopefully, because it's just one person or a few people, if it's a multiple witness sighting. So, but yeah, so I'm really glad, amazed to see so many people here in a way that's always still um just really surprises me. I guess it shouldn't, but thank you all. So but yeah, and looking forward to tonight. But so let's see here. We've got about 30 minutes left, so for calls, and looking forward to hearing whoever wants to go next, and we can go from there. So, but yeah, that experience I had, I don't know for sure what it was, but it was amazing. It was like, okay, we go in a second here. It was similar to my first couple of ghost experiences, in that it was something totally new to me. So, but looks like we have our next guest, APAC. Hello.
Hey, sorry about that. Had to find my unmute button. What's up, 200?
Yeah,
Oh my
thank you.
gosh. That's so exciting. So how does it feel?
It's surreal in a way. In another way, it does feel like, I mean, the number does feel accurate when I think back on all the shows,
Yeah.
all the hours and everything. But in another way, it doesn't, because I'm used to seeing those kind of numbers for other shows. I never expected to see that next to my own name.
Well, now you do. You are an absolute pro, man. Keep telling you that. So does
I
Mike.
know. Yep, I know you all do. Thank you.
You got it. Okay, so I guess I have like 3 or 4 takes on the UFO phenomena.
Sure.
And so I'm kind of with Mike on part of this. I think that a lot of the propaganda stuff, they have projects that they're working on, and they, excuse me, they, gosh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
They actually do, you know, put out there probably that the things that people are seeing, which are theirs, are UFOs, or they hype it up, or whatever. But um, the ones that are legit, um, if let's say, okay, so I have 3 favorite theories, I guess. The first one, I guess,
Something to do with time.
time travel. So, yeah, I think it would be cool if it were, related to time travel, or um, maybe if it is, other worldly beings or whatever, that there is a time travel at least component to the crafts themselves, because they would need to, in order to move as quickly as they do, if they have, inhabitants in there, they would need to sort of adjust the frequency of electromagnetism around the craft and whatever. So that would put it into time dilation, and so that would, um, even if they are like government crafts, it would be potentially almost probable that there would be time dilation occurring within the crafts themselves if they move that way, right? So interesting. And then another aspect is the potential of other uh, beings, or um, uh, like sideline parallel cultures from the planet that have developed their own technology, like the inner Earth theory, or like under the oceans and stuff like that. We have very little knowledge and information about the deep ocean, and there are a lot of stories about the inner Earth potential, and lots of stories about beings, or even humanoids that live under um, the Earth in one respect or another. So there's that one, and then the energy beings, uh, beings that naturally live and survive um, in either space or above our atmosphere, like extracting electricity from the storms. There have been a lot of NASA videos that seem to show that is, or might be happening. It would be easy to deduce, in other words, that were happening, because they're seen over thunderstorms. And then you have the tether incident, where the tether was actually is supposed to be a conduit for containing electricity, for containing and storing electricity. And so after it busted, which it was miles long, at least a mile long, I can't remember how big it was, it coiled up and started drifting off into space, and all these things that people, they ended up saying that it was like ice crystals or debris or something that just happened to look like. You've seen it, right?
Yes, I have seen the pictures. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's not ice crystals. Anyway,
No.
I'm just saying. And so those were all, I mean, like hundreds of them came in to the the thing, and just like hovered around this, and moved across it, more than hovered, but they moved across it. It was just wild. So I mean, I really do sort of lean in the direction also of biological entities that are spacefaring entities. I also just found an article I'll just kind of hint at, but there are bacteria that live, feed off of, and poop out electricity.
Huh.
And so, yeah, and that's on the Earth, um, and in the Earth, and just, yeah. So that's an interesting kind of connection between potential biological organisms in space, and that can traverse the Earth potentially. And we were just talking about that on Mike's show with the dragons, you know, um, that if there are beings that do sort of feed off electricity, then that could be one uh, source for UFOs, right?
Yeah, yep. Any kind of, yeah, and it could be, they could have, if they're energy, then people could even, I mean, if it's consciousness as well, people could see them in different ways. Then they maybe naturally appear. Especially if there is contact or communication, um,
Right.
that could be affecting those images of those creatures as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if so, there's an electromagnetic field, right, that we deal with in respect to things like that. It's all, I was just reading up a little bit more about electricity and stuff like that. So it's like it does shift spectrums and frequencies, or has the potential to, and therefore changing the way that we can perceive that, right? So yeah, definitely. And one other thing, if I can remember it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Can't remember it now. I'm having an off day today. I woke up not feeling too great yesterday and today, so I'm anyway, a little ditzy.
No, I have a hard time remembering things on days where I feel fine, so no problem there. But yeah, no, thank you for all those ideas and for being on the show, and for also the images you made today to put around online. I really appreciate those because I couldn't do those. So
Yeah, I stuck one up on Twitter, so hopefully we got some people, looking at that too on Twitter. So all right,
yeah,
well, happy 200th on the 20th, and I will talk to you later. I'll see you tonight, probably in Mike's chat. So
yeah, sounds good. Thank you again, and talk to you soon.
bye.
So yeah, all great ideas. I think again, just going back to that, everything is possible. Everything's out there, and I definitely agree with that. So the electricity thing is always amazing to me because it can go so many different directions with it, and energy and electricity and all of those things. So, but but yeah, so I don't know. It was not experience, that's for sure, and won't be forgetting it soon. It is funny. It took me a while to remember exactly what day I had it on, and I was joking with everyone that I always say that all my experiences from years back, I can never remember when exactly they happened, and you would think the one that just happened less than a week ago, I'd be able to remember exactly the day and time, and not always necessarily. So anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, so well, looking here and I don't see any other callers yet. So if anyone wants to call in, let me know, and I'll stick around here for another few minutes, at least. But uh, but yeah, all the it was to me, like I said, I've had ghost experiences, I've had dream experiences for years now, and um, so but this one was so different from any of those that it really stuck with me because of that. So and so that's what led to this question for today. I was going to be uh, on a show, um, recording for a show last night that had to be rescheduled, so I haven't done that yet. But as soon as I do and it is released, I will let everyone know. It's more of a popular culture slash fandom kind of show, but I will get to talk about this podcast, my podcast, and everything. And so that should be fun. Don't know when that'll be yet, but so and yeah, just also as a reminder, if anyone has any experiences, like I always say, I'm happy to have you on the show. We don't have to use names or anything. Um, or if you just want to send me a written version of what happened. I haven't started this yet, but it's coming soon. I'm going to be doing a section in my nonfiction, my next paranormal nonfiction book about Michigan, about paranormal activity here in Michigan and local ghost lore, legends, experiences. And so I know a lot of people listen from a lot of places, but for anyone out there that has anything like that, any experiences like that, or any knows any legends or folklore, um, you're welcome to send me an email, uh, salcedoparanormal at gmail.com, and I will include it in that book. And it's a book with all my paranormal experiences. And in fact, I had to put that UFO one in there soon as well. But looking forward to getting that book done and it's almost there. It's getting there. And so that's kind of the other thing. That's part of the reason why I cut down to 3 nights a week is because I do enjoy writing, and I have projects that I'd like to finish um, one day sooner rather than later. And I am looking forward to having that. That'll be probably the last section in that book, and looking to get it published after that, and we'll go from there. But it's actually going to be called Salcedo Paranormal. I'm gonna tie it to the podcast, and so it'll probably be a while before there's any news on that, but that is being worked on. So hopefully within the next year or so, I'll have that done and hopefully published. But yeah. So I'm trying to think of what else I'm working on. I mean, I'm working on fiction. I'm working on a novel. I think I will keep that. I mean, I've talked to some friends about it, but I think I'll keep that one quiet for now, just in case. But so yeah, that was part of the reason why I needed to cut down to 3 days a week was so I could work on other things that are important to me and just have time to do other things, take in content, take in TV shows and podcasts that I like to listen to. I'm still catching up. I won't say anything about. I won't give any spoilers because I don't like doing that. But I might do a series of shows on Stranger Things once I get once I finish the 4th season. I need to start that still, but um, I'm thinking about doing that at some point. So that should be fun. Maybe even have someone on, 1 or 2 people on. There's probably one person. So far, I haven't really tried doing a show with 2 people on at the same time yet. But we'll see how that goes, where that goes, and that'll be a little ways from now as well. I still need to finish the 4th season, and then I'll probably do one show, 1 season per show of my show to cover it all. Not so much necessarily the plot, but just the paranormal connections that I've noticed in the series. So, because I think that could be fun, and yeah, so looking forward to doing that as well. But looks like I've got someone unmuted. Let me just take care of that real quick. No worries there though. But yeah, so let's see here. Okay, got that done. So that's the general plan for, and I'm hope everyone knows I don't not doing that to be mean to anyone, just so everyone, in case whoever that was notices, that's why. But so that's kind of the general plans for the podcast for the future is to cover some more TV shows here and there when I can. Need to have I need to have the ability to I need to be able to listen to them being described to me. They have to have the descriptive video function for me to really get into them and to know what's going on. So that might limit the number of shows that I cover in the future, but any shows that are paranormal and have that I can listen to, I'm definitely open to covering them in future episodes. So, but if no one else is, if everyone else is all set, if that's it for calls, then I think we can get end the show here in a minute. But thank you all for being here for this episode and for being so supportive of the show this whole time. No matter when you came in, when you found it, or if you were with your friends beforehand, or any time before, or in the middle. I mean, I can talk, but so yeah, thank you all again. I'll be back on Friday with paranormal news, and we'll go from there. So until then, have a great night, and I will talk to you on Friday on the next episode, on episode 201 of Salcedo Paranormal. Have a great